Can you imagine? The World Health Organization estimates that 3.6% of Earth population has experienced a post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. And we've discovered a natural and everyday life way that helped us overcome this plague. Stay tuned to discover how in this overview of the book, Put That Stuff Down, Coping with PTSD through Decluttering Journey.
Salut! I'm Valérie Huard, and I overcame my complex PTSD.
And I am Jean-Michel, military veteran, and I've helped a lot of brothers and sisters in arms in coping with their PTSD with the method you'll discover in our book, Put That Stuff Down.
First of all, this book is for everybody suffering from trauma, and their families, and their professionals. Let's start at the beginning. Chapter 1. It's all about breaking down the myths circulating in relation to PTSD. For example, some people believe that simply experiencing trauma is sufficient to cause PTSD. In fact, the majority of people who experience trauma do not develop PTSD. They can still be affected by the trauma without getting an official PTSD diagnosis. So, in that chapter, we go over the different criteria of the diagnosis of PTSD. We also touch base on how that subject is often considered taboo.
It's hard to hear that in 2020, trauma is still a taboo. Chapter 2 is all about OMG, or Objective Mind Jump. This is where we explain that you only achieve what you believe. So in order to achieve success and decluttering your life, which can be a tremendous undertaking, one must be ready and believe it's possible. We also talk about the process of setting SMART goals into small steps. We help you believe. Another important concept to learn in chapter 2 is the difference between conscious and subconscious mind. We then present the ABCs guideline to use affirmation to calm down our 51,000 thoughts that we have daily.
Let us know if you have a lot of thoughts, like those little voice in your head, judging sometimes everything. Just in the comments, say, yes, I have a itsy bitsy shitty committee. Or no, my thoughts are peaceful. Or any other things you want to tell us. Let's move to chapter 3, where we explain the relation between trauma and clutter. Multiple research projects have observed the severity of compulsive buying or the accumulation of free items and clutter among those who have experienced a traumatic life event. So we pass through the explanation of multiple specialists to explain the impact of the trauma on the frontal lobe of your brain and on the executive functions. This is also where the emotion, thoughts, and behavior relation is explained, and where the reader has to decide between to be or not to be organized.
Wow, this is a huge decision. Well, in chapter 4, we see how it can be easier. We offer 3 secrets of decluttering to really get a head start. I'll keep you a surprise of the secrets, but let me say that it is the time to take the decision and say goodbye to clutter. Because clutter is heavy and it curtails the smile, clouds the moods, and increase anxiety. You may say that it's easy to find a single item in a cluttered space, but it takes hard work to declutter and organize. However, let's say you search for a different object every day. The effort will be more than decluttering and organizing for good.
With chapter 5, it is time to reclaim your space, because an organized place is a self-reflection of an organized mind. We talk about basic organization and where you should start. Spoiler alert! It's all begins by writing your master list in an old-fashioned way with a pen and a paper. You will also learn how to organize and maintain smartly.
Then, after decluttering and organizing your space, we jump into an important subject, which is your peace of mind. Chapter 6 is all about decluttering your stress, because stress is worse than high cholesterol food and cigarette for heart disease and cancer. We explain how to recognize stress, how to stop it using mindfulness, and this type of meditation is the bridge directly connecting your mind to the present moment. And let us know if you're interested to learn more about meditation, because it's really hard to do when you suffer from trauma. Just comment below, write your question about meditation, and we'll do a video to answer them.
You're right, Jam. It was so hard to start meditating. And I struggled for so long, and I had so many questions at that time. Remember that?
Absolutely.
Okay, now chapter 7. We look at decluttering your time, because we all look for a 25th hour of the day. You know, that hour that will allow us to do what is on our to-do list. And make things worse, a common threat about people with PTSD is to avoid self-time. Time to think about yourself, about healing and getting peaceful, because it will often bring us back to an undesirable or uncomfortable state associated with the trauma. Unfortunately, time is not renewable, nor a tangible resource. As Mother Teresa said, yesterday is gone, tomorrow hasn't come yet. We have only today. Let us begin. So how do you use your time? You will find time-saving strategies in chapter 7.
And finally, the 8th chapter, Saving My Life, one moment at a time. If you've been through a trauma, your life is nothing like before. After you've recovered from trauma and PTSD, you're changed forever. Accept who you're becoming, who you want to be. And the only way to do this is by being in the present moment. Instead of locking yourself up in your cage in fear and crying over the past, use it as your teacher and tool in both self-improvement and success. Self-improvement is one day at the time process. Like you can only eat an elephant one bite at a time. Disclose on taking care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit. Loving yourself and giving back to the community.
So, if you want to know more about the concrete tips that helped us declutter and some secrets that helped me overcome my trauma, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Because this channel is all about helping you free yourself from the trauma through a decluttering and organizing journey.
You can also click on the link below and get our book. Listen, the reason we wrote this book is to guide you along the journey. It's not meant to be a one-time read. It's not meant to be the all-in be-all solution. This is something you read over and over. It's a workbook. And it also complements other methods for your awareness and to really align your recovery to its best, because you deserve it. And remember, you create the life you want.